Man Cave, guys. This is your PMC perspective for this morning. I hope you're having a great day. Good morning, Doug. Good morning, Dot. See you guys are already in the house. I'm sorry. I apologize. I did not have the YouTube link clicked, but we're live and in color on Rumble right now. So welcome to the show, everybody. I got a few things to start with, so let's just get busy. Doug, do you wake up to snow today? Because I got a bunch out front right now. It is pouring here, so I got a white holiday happening, and it is still snowing as we speak. All right, so I do not know if Donna is going to be in this morning because she's got her thing going on, but if she rolls in, we'll be happy to see her. All right, let me see what we got. I just want to make sure I start out with the right stuff today. Well, actually, this is probably the best thing to start out. Let's go here.
Just had such a huge movement going into election day. So to watch these evil bastards. Can I say that here? Is that all right? To watch them steal this in broad daylight. And if they think they're going to get away with it, they masked with the wrong bitch, okay?
Woo! They messed with the wrong bitch. Carries on, and I got to tell you, I saw that this morning. I'm like, man, that's awesome. So let me pull that out, and I'll bring another one in for you. Might as well just get these out of the way. All right, here you go. Let's talk about Jim Jordan right now.
Tonight, we really appreciate it. Let's start with this entity, CISA, this shadowy group. What are we going to do about that? Their whole purpose has shifted from something many Americans might support, which is foreign disinformation, to censoring Americans.
Yeah, this collusion is now bigger. I used to say it was big government, big tech, and big media colluding to keep information from we the people. Now it's big tech, big government, big media, and these NGOs or not-for-profits or whatever this organization is, all designed to run a misinformation operation on us. I mean, remember those 51 folks 51 former intel officials who did that letter, and they said, the Hunter Biden story has all the earmarks of the classic Russian information operation. Well, the real misinformation operation was run by our government with this group you just talked about, with big media, with big tech, to keep information from us, from the American people. And they did it just days and weeks before the most important election we have, election for president of the United States. So you're exactly right. The government's the primary culprit here. It was a great monologue, but that last point I think is right on target. That's where it really starts. They're the ones who violated our First Amendment free speech rights. They're the ones who need to be held accountable, and we're committed to doing that and going as high up in the FBI as we have to get to the person who decided this is what they were going to do.
Exactly. Let's talk about the FBI. That's most directly in your purview when you take over. I just want to read you a little bit from their statement in response to the Twitter files on Friday, which really had them in the crosshairs, as well as what we did last weekend. Here's what they said. The FBI regularly engages with private sector entities to provide information specific to identified foreign malign influence actors. And that's all. That's a total lie. It is a lie.
Yeah.
We've shown, Matt Taibbi, the Twitter files showed that it was domestic. How can you have an agency of the government? I mean, somebody put this out. Someone who works there is like in the communication. They're lying to us and we're paying for it. What can we do about it?
Well, we're going to talk to everyone that we know that was involved thus far. So we want to talk to this Elvis Chan, who was the guy having the weekly meetings, the guy in the FBI meeting weekly with all these big tech platforms out in Silicon Valley. We want to talk to Timothy Thibault. Timothy Thibault was the guy who, a whistleblower, went to Senator Grassley and said, this was one of the guys in the Washington field office involved in suppressing the Hunter Biden story. We had a different whistleblower come talk to our office and said Timothy Thibault was involved in this whole political nature and this political pressure that's going on at the FBI. So we want to talk to him. He's actually since left the FBI. So we have letters out to all these people. Once we're in the majority and we have the ability to compel them to come testify, we will do that. But that's where we want to start. And then, of course, Jim Baker, who was one on all sides of this equation, Steve. I mean, he was there when they were spying on President Trump's campaign. He's the guy that accepted the information from Hillary Clinton's lawyer, the information on the so-called Alpha Bank scandal, which was baloney. And then he goes to Twitter. And then, of course, 2 weekends ago, we find out that he's the guy actually filtering the information as it's going out the door when Elon Musk is trying to release it. Now, think about this for a second. If he was willing to do that when Elon Musk is running the company, imagine what lengths and things he did when he wasn't worried about all this. So that's how bad it was and how coordinated this effort was. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to start with Chan, T-Bolt, Jim Baker, and this guy, Matt Williams, who happened to come from the FBI, who was hired at the same time Jim Baker was in the summer of 2020.
We don't have much time. Could I quickly ask you about the action that might flow from this and the connection to what Mitch McConnell has just done in relation to the budget? Because one of your weapons here is the budget. But that's now looks like that's going to be set for next year. So there's not going to be any ability for the Republican House to do anything about the funding of these groups until the year after next.
Yeah, that's why this omnibus is so ridiculous. The idea that the cavalry is coming over the hill, we're going to have a majority in the House of Representatives, for goodness sake. Why wouldn't you do a CR and just kick the funding into next year when we could begin to clamp down on some of this instead of making us wait a year? That's why this omnibus is so darn wrong, and we shouldn't be passing it. I'm not going to vote for it, but I wish the Senate wouldn't bring it up and would just give us a CR into February of next year.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys right now, they are doing some shit that they have figured out ways that the Republicans can't undo this shit for like a year. And so they have some battles still ahead, battles still going on, because they figured out some retroactive ways to pull some bullshit. And it's hardcore digging deep. I mean, they're digging in now. They're like little ticks. And they're just digging in, digging in, digging in. All right, let me roll on to this next segment.
Representatives are getting ready to drop the hammer on the FBI, the entire organization, top to bottom, folks. And it's really a big story that's not getting a lot of play in the media. We're going to tell you about it here at Explain America. I'm your host, Carmine Sabia, and welcome to the show. First, before we get started, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. Also, please follow us at Explain America on Facebook. And, of course, share our stories on there because that really helps our algorithm. It helps get the news that not everybody is talking about in the mainstream media out to the people. So make it a destination stop every day. Come visit Explain America on Facebook several times a day where you're going to get the news that you're not going to get from other websites. It's really important, and it really helps us, and we believe it helps the country. So Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, James Comer, they are sounding the alarm, and they're not alone. Tons of Republican representatives have responded to the Twitter files that they say show the FBI in bed with Twitter, essentially. And there's truth to this. And to the extent, we don't really know fully yet, but Twitter was reporting accounts, low follower accounts, high follower accounts, celebrities, non-celebrities. They were reporting tweets that even had jokes in them. Even joking about the election in 2020 was a no-no for the FBI. And they were reporting these to Twitter, and more often than not, and I would say I can't give you an exact percentage, but very rarely did Twitter not at least delete the tweet, if not suspend the account of the person that the FBI had reported to them. Now, as I said to you on yesterday's episode, if you watched it, if you didn't, this is important information. Twitter as a private company does not have to respect the First Amendment. It doesn't have to respect your right to free speech. It doesn't have to do any of that. You sign up and agree to a terms of service, and that's the rules that they're governed by. They're not governed by the First Amendment. However, where it changes is when the government gets involved and asks the private organization to start suppressing speech. That's when it becomes an issue. That is when it becomes a violation of the First Amendment. Now, among the people, Josh Hawley said, if the FBI used Twitter to do it, what other companies do they use to suppress your speech? Matt Gaetz told them to clear their calendar because he wants to bring in, the top brass of the FBI, the top executives that used to work at Twitter. He said there absolutely is going to be an investigation. And Lauren Boebert pointed out that, we need an FBI that's taking care of terrorism and violent gangs and sex traffickers and public corruption and all kinds of terrorism, a functioning FBI. not an FBI that's worried about tweets
We
on
need an
Twitter.
FBI that does their fucking
And
job.
the thing is,
don't
they've
you
gotten
think?
away with it for so long that I think maybe they're going to really be in for a shock when the Republicans take over the House in January 2023. And the Republicans are letting it be known that they are absolutely going for him this time.
Yeah, so think about that. And then you got old Matt Gaetz, who dropped a little bit of a bomb. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but check it.
Do you think that House? Do you want ex-President Trump to be the Speaker?
I would.
Did you talk to him about it?
I have.
What did he say?
Oh, I keep my conversations with the former president between the two of them.
All I want for Christmas is for President Trump to be Speaker of the House.
All I want for Christmas is President Trump to be Speaker.
All I want for Christmas is for President Trump to become Speaker of the House and stop the financial collapse of our country.
All I want for Christmas is Donald Trump to be the Speaker.
Good evening. This is Vic Meller, and all I want for Christmas is Speaker Trump. Thank you.
So let's talk about some Trump moments real quick.
And yet you have people like John Kerry worrying about the climate. The climate. Oh, I heard that the other day. Here we are, guys, threatening us. He's worried about the ocean will rise 1/100th of 1% over the next 300 fucking years.
Now, Sleepy Joe would say the unemployment rate in the great state of Ohio. No, you're in South Carolina. Joe, you're in South. They come up and you ever see the guy that no, it's South Carolina. It's not Ohio. Okay. Then he goes, all right, Iowa. Did you say Iowa? No. I did that like 7 times. If I did that once, it would be the end of the road, right? Be the end of the road.
Trump was here right now, what would you tell him? Man, I'll tell that boy bring.
Hold on a minute. You guys got to hear that one. I don't know why it clicked up. Just a sec.
Trump was here right now, what would you tell him? Man, I'll tell that boy bring back the gas prices, bring back the bitches, bring back all that shit. That boy had his state lit, man. You know what the I'm saying? Trump 2024, you know what I'm saying? Forever. That boy.
I love it, man. I love it. You know, people are finally saying what we all think and know. So, all right. So let's talk about this. This one will get you because I didn't know it. You know, I learn things new every day. And you guys remember this?
So a lot of people might not know what this spear represents, but I want to show you. So in our country, we have a thing called flag law. It's actually very important. A lot of people have never been taught. Thanks to the General Education Board, someone took over our education in 1903. It's a fact. So you didn't get to learn about this. Flag law. See the spear right there? Let's see what it means. Spear on top of a flag represents court-martial. You see it, right? So if the spear represents a court-martial, riddle me this. Why did Trump have these spears on top of his flag?
You have a spear on top of your flagpole. It's for military court-martials.
So I don't go to court very often, but when I do, I bring the flag of my nationality. You place the flag upon your documents. When you stick your flag on top of your documents, what does it mean? It means that your documents or your paperwork holds authority from the flag of that territory. So if you're a state national and you stick your state flag on there, your documents now hold the authority of that republic. You may not know this, but the judge does. Learn your rights, exercise your rights, and be the change you want to see state nationals rise.
You know, the interesting shit you find every day just blows your mind sometimes. You're like, man, I did not know that. I had no idea. All right, this next one's for the ladies. This is quite frightening because when she realizes what happened, it's already too late. She's already done what she probably shouldn't have done. But the fact is that she realizes the gravity of the situation. And I think this is the kind of thing that every woman needs to see. Now, here's the thing. I constantly tell women, if you see a piece of tape on your car that was never there before, if you see a zip tie, if you see little things on your car that have done to your car that you just didn't notice, pay attention. Because it's not just that. It's the gentlemen around you. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to little noises you're hearing. Pay attention to things you are just out of place, because these are what will save your life.
So this is my first TikTok. I don't particularly like to be on camera, but I had to share with you what happened today with me and my 3 boys while we were out shopping today. We were shopping in Michigan at the Shelby Township Walmart at 24 and Shelby Parkway. We had come across a man who looked at us and started chirping. It was the strangest chirping noise. I'd never heard it before. It wasn't like a whistle. It was a chirp. It struck us all as odd. I instantly felt uncomfortable and something was off. So my oldest son was like, "Mom, that's weird. Why did he do that?" And I don't know. We just need to go. So we get to the cash register. I went to self-check. I just wanted to get out of the store. I wasn't even thinking. So the kids were helping me. I was distracted, but I said, pay attention to your surroundings. Make sure, if you see somebody following us, please, let me know. Just pay attention. So the kids were getting kind of loud and we were checking out, and my oldest says, "Mom." And I look and the guy's walking right up behind us. And apparently I didn't hear the chirping, but my son said he started chirping again. He got real close and was by the belt looking at the candy. And I stopped scanning my items and I was staring at him. I don't like confrontation. I didn't want to come across like a crazy mom. I thought maybe he had Tourette's. Maybe he was signaling to his children, like my mom would whistle when she needed us when we were little. So I thought maybe he's calling his kids. I don't know. I don't want to come across as this crazy mom, but I was really uncomfortable. So I stopped scanning my items and I said, my son, I'm like, "That's the guy who was chirping at us." And he said, "I know." And we were really loud. So the guy knew. And I could tell he didn't want to make eye contact with me, but he could tell I had stopped scanning my items. So he went to the aisle next to us, and I looked over and I made eye contact with him, and he looked away real quick. So I felt completely uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to get the hell out of the store as quickly as possible. So, I gave the kids the whole talk. What do you do if someone tries to kidnap you? We get to the car. They locked the car. I threw the groceries in the trunk. I hurried up and got the hell out of there. Long story short, I had my mom call her brother, who is a retired Michigan State Trooper, and he said that they chirp probably into a phone to let someone know on the other end of the phone how many people there are or how many kids there are. And then he came up behind us and was chirping behind us because he wanted to let them know that we were on our way out of the store. My whole life could have changed today, and I should have called 911. I should have just called 911 and waited at the front of the store and just had the police come. Who cares if I look crazy as long as I'm safe? So don't downplay. Anytime you feel uncomfortable, just call 911.
You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a common theme with Walmart is a trafficking hub of sorts. They work the Walmart. A girl was found with her hands tied, gagged, and once they got everything off her and talked to her, she said she was abducted from a Walmart. And that actually someone in a yellow vest with the Walmart insignia helped them, or ushered her to the back. She wakes up. She's with a bunch of other kids, chained to a floor. I mean, all this stuff seems to be clicking back to Walmart. And I'm going to tell you guys, like I've said a million times, when you're standing at your checkout and you look up and it says, "Have you seen these children?" And there's a wall with 50, 60, 70 kids on it, it doesn't seem to me like it was ever, "Have you seen these kids?" It was more of a shopping list. That's what I always told Donna. That's what I've always said. And that's what I'm standing to. When you see that list at your Walmart, your local Walmart, just look when you go there next time and you go shopping and you look up and see that list. Think about that is a shopping list for some nefarious, rich, maybe not even rich, just dirty people. And I'll move on. Okay. Let me see. Oh, yeah, let's talk about the Brittney Griner trade.
Our choices was Brittney or no one at all.
We gave up a prolific arms dealer who was convicted of trying to kill Americans, who was called the Merchant of Death.
The professional athlete is also an American citizen.
Meanwhile, the veteran stays in there. Been there for years. Just went there on a business trip. Got wrapped up. They said he's espionage. Been there forever. This dude goes over there. The dude that the guy that plays for the WNBA goes over there. And they bring him home and leave the veteran. Leave the military guy who fought for your country, who fought for your freedoms and your rights. They leave him over there. And they bring home a basketball player. Is this the country we live in now? Because think about it. How many veterans do you see on that television being celebrated and lifted up on their shoulders? And my God, what you've gave for this country. No. You see a guy who threw a 60-yard touchdown or the immaculate reception. You see those guys hoisted. You see parades for those guys. But you don't see parades for the guys that fought for your country, that lay down their lives daily. Some come home without arm or leg or completely fucked up. But all our accolades go to these people who are bought and paid for, who rig games, who give them the outcome they want. It's become big business. But I'm telling you right now, the veterans is where all our loyalty should be. There should be no loyalty to this football shit, this basketball fake game shit, because they put magnets in the balls, guys. They put magnets in the balls, and the receivers have magnets in the gloves. It's a real simple scam. It's probably the most simple scam you could see, because the guys are always messing with their gloves while they're on camera. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go out and make my catch. Oh, my God, I can't believe I caught it with one finger. It was amazing. That's because they turn on your friggin' magnets. And that's where it boils down to. You got these guys out there doing the WWE, the fake bullshit games for you. And then you got guys that are laying down their real lives. They're going and risking themselves, risking their lives, maybe not coming home to their families. Their families pay the ultimate price. But we're going to hoist the guy who just faked everybody out for a 60-yard magnetic catch. We're going to put him on the shoulders. Yeah, we got some fucked up priorities in this country, and they need to change. And they need to change quickly. And I would say to you that it's actually happening because a lot of people around you now are seeing through all this bullshit. They have had enough with it, and it's going to reach the pinnacle where there's nothing they can do. All right, let's listen to Don Jr. this morning.
I love you.
How's it going?
Don Jr., so we're out here. What are you expecting to to see out here? And from President Trump, you see all the knives out. He's the only guy that could take it for 4 years. Your family, what you guys have taken so far. What do you anticipate these next couple months looking like?
Well, listen, I think it's going to be brutal. Listen, the knives are out for a reason. Okay, even in the Republican Party, right, the donor class, they want a president that when they call has to pick up the phone. Because they need him. They need their money. So you can they're going to support a lot of people that will be, very conservative outward to the public. But then when they're in D.C. or otherwise, they're going to be 100% accountable to the donor class. Trump did this because it was about the people. He didn't need this job. He didn't need the money. He didn't do that. So, you're going to see a lot of that. I love what he did in terms of sort of the digital Bill of Rights, putting that out there now. So, it's a long time. I mean, I don't know that we got to be out there on every battle, on every issue right now for the next 2 years, but the ones that matter, and you see it. You see exactly, the people who are donating, the people who are making sure that other candidates are being pushed. They're the people that are going to benefit from those people being president, not the American people necessarily, because let's make sure that people are clear that those interests diverge greatly from working class Americans that we got in this game to help than, the billionaire Republican donor class.
And when you see the fraud of 2020, in some ways it almost just clarifies so much more about how bad the left is. I mean, you see Joe Biden, just an absolute disaster on the border, on the economy, on energy, everything. Do you think that in some ways that's actually even helping wake people up?
I hope so. I mean, the Twitter files, no different than everything else. Guess what? What happened to Twitter? That's no different than what's going on in every major newsroom in the country. They want their candidates. They've been doing it. You think that NBC News was any less radical, than what happened at Twitter? Of course it's going on there. You think the other big tech and social platforms, the fact that we can perform as well as we do against multiple trillion-dollar institutions that control so much money, so much influence, whose word gets out? I was one of the people, they wanted to throw off the platform. I saw the internal communications. I'm shocked. I didn't know this 3 years earlier when I went from getting 5,000 retweets opposed to 2. Yeah. I had no idea. We couldn't have seen it. It was totally unbiased, right? Yeah. I mean, we see this every day, but what happened at Twitter is no different than what's going on at other big tech. They're not unique. They're only unique in the sense that people now see it. Yeah. It was going on everywhere, and not just in social. So, I think people have to wake up. They have to see the disaster that is the Joe Biden presidency, the insanity of what things change. We went from being energy independent to, begging Venezuela and Iran, the world's leading state sponsor of terror, for oil. We're on the brink of World War II, or World War III, according to the Biden administration themselves, who says we're the closest to nuclear war since the Cuban Missile Crisis in the 60s. This stuff didn't happen under Trump because he commanded authority. He had respect. You look at Joe Biden, you're like, yeah, of course I'll attack America right now. Like, they couldn't be any weaker. Yeah. And it's sad. And it's sad that we need to see such extremes to get people to wake up. And that's because you are up against those systems who've manipulated the thought. They've manipulated the truth. They've manipulated elections. They've manipulated information for decades now. You needed a Trump to get that out there. And, hopefully it'll wake up enough people.
Guys, wake up. And we're out here. That's why we exist, to fill that void of fake news.
You guys too, of course, right? Yeah, magically you get canceled, right? Just like magically, Maricopa, the conservative county, the ballot machines, they stop working for a few hours. I mean, disaster. The coincidences can't only go one way. That's not how statistics work. Yeah. And yet, they do.
Don Jr., we love you. We appreciate you. We're praying for you and your family, and you guys are going to win.
Thank you, man.
What do you guys think? All right, guys, he's got to run. He's heading up to speak.
Yeah, so bottom line, if you think about what's happening, it's coming around full friggin' circle, and it's going to hit hard. Now, speaking of Twitter, since you brought up Twitter, I might as well bring this in now. What's going on over there?
Here's Elon Musk, and now he is saying he may step down from Twitter in a poll. He says, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll. 3.5 million votes in an hour, and it's looking like the poll is going to say, yes, you should step down. And he says he will abide by it.
You're kicking ass. And in a few minutes, I'm going to go to the control room. We have breaking news. Elon Musk has announced he's stepping down from Twitter. He said that if the poll says he should step down, he will. The poll says he should. We'll put this headline out. We'll see if he follows it. But he keeps me banned, even though the poll said get rid of my ban. But he's saying he's going to abide by it.
Well, this is obviously a trap. I mean, he obviously wanted this to come out this way.
Yes. Should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results. There it is. Elon Musk, if he's following what he says, is stepping down from Twitter.
So why do you think he put this poll out then? Because he knew this would go this way, is my guess. He wouldn't have put this. He wouldn't have put everything on the line unless he was expecting this. He's not dumb.
Big story. We're going to watch it. You should do your own reporting, but put the clip out. It'll go viral. Because, again, he says that I follow polls. He let it back all the leftists, which is fine. I say free speech. But then with me, he says, no, it's his personal decision. So he doesn't follow his own rules. Now he's saying, if this poll says he should go, he will go. So if he's for real, he's going to go now.
Why would Musk put this poll up today? Who told him to do this? Was it his idea? And why would he change his mind all of a sudden in the middle of trying to turn Twitter into a free speech platform? This seems out of nowhere. I mean, it's pretty much said and done, folks. You're not going to see this poll shift. So it's going to be, the poll reads Twitter. Elon Musk should no longer be the head of Twitter. So that breaking just now. I think Elon Musk plans things out before he does it. So I doubt this was something he did on a whim, but we'll see. The announcement is made by the morning. I mean, really, it's already over, the poll. I mean, I doubt you're going to see a shift of, I think he's down like 16 points right now. It's like 58% want him to step down. So that's an interesting move by Elon Musk. So the question, I guess, becomes who will become the new head of Twitter? I guess that's the question. I guess if Elon Musk is out, then who is the new head of Twitter? I mean, is it official to say Elon Musk is stepping down as the head of Twitter now? Is it official to say that with the poll? It's still live, but there's no way he's going to come back here. 58% says he should step down. So is that it? Elon Musk will no longer be the head of Twitter. What will that mean? What is his role from here on out? Who is the new head of Twitter? But see, it's all the same story that got exposed. It's the U.S. government with intelligence agencies lying to the American people, running psychological operations on the American people, from the JFK assassination to the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop and everything else in between. And we now know it. And so we have the JFK files, we have the Twitter files, and this is what's so frustrating. It seems to not even matter how many times our corrupt government gets caught red-handed, they still have this monopoly of power over you. And no matter how corrupt and disgusting and despicable they are, they still get to destroy your life and intervene in your life however they see fit. Really, really frustrating stuff, if you ask me. So it doesn't matter, though. The American people still have to take the lies from the government, whether it's JFK or Elon Musk.
They say Twitter was 2 weeks from bankruptcy. So whatever's really going on there with this double game of him and Jared Kushner, if he follows what he's saying, he may put a new front in and say, well, I tried. That way he has his kicking it too. Oh, he's the big hero. Now there's a new head. The globalists agree on. This is big. This is a big moment right now.
So Elon Musk
Continue watching it throughout the year.
Unofficially out as the head of Twitter. Elon Musk unofficially out as the head of Twitter. The question is not finding a CEO. The question is finding a CEO who can keep Twitter alive, says Elon Musk just a moment ago. So we'll be monitoring this. We'll be monitoring what Elon Musk says throughout the evening. The poll is pretty much done, though. They'd be calling it, if you will, on Fox News. So if you take Elon Musk at his word, I think it's fair to say Elon Musk is no longer the head of Twitter.
Notice, I hadn't seen his new tweet. That he may be looking for a front guy. I hadn't seen that tweet, and I said he's looking for a new CEO, and boom, it's there. We know what we're doing, folks.
So has he already decided who the new CEO would be? What if it's Jared Kushner? Ooh, Kushner versus Trump versus Truth Social. Ooh.
I think that's it. I think it's Jared Kushner.
Tell you what, I don't really like Jared. I don't like the idea of Jared Kushner running Twitter. I'll tell you that right now. But geez, I mean, look at all this little backstab. You know, it's also ridiculous. It's like, why do we have this? See, this is what I'm saying. It's like, why do we have this competition going on? Oh, so now you got, Kanye West tries to purchase Parler. Oh, and then they cancel that deal. Oh, Trump has Truth Social, but he doesn't want to go back on Twitter, but he had to make Truth Social because he got banned on Twitter. Oh, now Musk takes over Twitter. Oh, never mind. I don't want Twitter. I'm going to give it to Jared Kushner now. It's like, what are we doing here? What's the goal? Why can't we come together? Hey, you're all trying to compete. You're all trying to have the best platform. But no, it becomes this little backstabbing thing. It becomes this little political game behind the scenes. Everybody stabbing each other in the back. Everybody trying to one-up one another instead of trying to uplift the people. So whether it's the Twitter files where we see the FBI meddling, influencing, interfering in our own elections, caught red-handed, so far nobody arrested, nobody charged, or whether it's the JFK files where we just got new declassified files. Who murdered JFK and who covered it up? The same U.S. government every damn time.
And that's how it works. Every damn time. Here's the thing. Bait and switch. Oh, I'm going to drop all these files and say, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and do a poll. Do you guys want me to step down? Knowing that the left would push the voting as much as they could, because that's what they do. So how is this any different? Honestly, how is this any different? Because there's no fucking way that a real voting thing that would have won. Because there's too many of us awake now. So what's really happening there? Why is he hanging out with Jared Kushner? There's some fucking bad stuff going on over there, and I don't trust it in the least. And this has all been happening at every site that we're on, guys. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere. They are doing the same thing. It doesn't matter the platform. Twitter's just the one that Elon decided to out a little bit of it. And then he's going to go ahead and give it away to somebody else who's going to run it right back to the same shit, if not worse. That's what they're doing. All right, let me move on. All right, so I got to show you guys this. This is going to blow your mind. Because when I see this airport, all I see is a shot from one of the Mexican movies I just watched, one of the Spanish movies that's on. We were watching. It needed interpretation and all that, so we're just kind of watching the words, watching the movie. But when they pan around to this airport, I think a Spanish Mexican airport. But wait, it's here.
I'm at the end of a long 12-hour business trip that took me from Alabama to Florida, just for one flight, to go from Pensacola to Texas. I've been in Texas all day in 3 different airports, and there's nothing here but illegal immigrants. Now, I don't really have anything against that, but I was just sitting next to 2 gentlemen from Nicaragua, 23 years old. No education, no nothing. Both wearing brand new shoes, by the way. One of them had Nike Air Jordans on. I'm an engineer. I earn a 6-figure income. I've never purchased a pair of Nike Air Jordans. Not to mention, they were telling me where they're from, Nicaragua. And they were telling me how there's no work in Nicaragua, which is why they're here. And we all know that, and I have compassion. But you have no idea. I'm going to play a video after this. There's got to be 200 people just at this one terminal, gate 3 that I'm at right now. It's amazing.
All illegal immigration. He's been at 3 different airports. They're all the same. That was just one terminal. While we all sit comfortable in our homes, we're being invaded. We're being invaded by plane loads of refugees coming into this country. And here's the thing. Most of those people were men. Most fighting age from Nicaragua. And when you bring people from other countries to this country and then you hand them weapons and say, look, we're going to need you to do some policing, they have no problem shooting you who are a foreigner in their eyes. That is your United Nations troops being loaded into this country, plane load after plane load after plane load. And the planes don't stop. They keep on coming while we have a 24-hour humdrum day. Plane load after plane load after plane load after plane load after plane load coming to this country. That's just one instance, one time. He said it was at 3 different airports. And that's just one instance, one time. But imagine if that is all the time, all instances right now. And I'll move on. Here's Will I Am talking about Twitter. I'm not really his fan, but I found it kind of interesting what he was saying.
One's hooping and hollering that, yo, Elon Musk just bought Twitter. That's dope, right?
Right.
Depends on what he uses it for.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And let's hope that it's for all the right reasons.
Right.
Because he also owns Neuralink. And Neuralink is, the ability to, think into the machine without having to write. That's dope.
Wow.
And also AI. And the AI that he has is super important. But if Twitter's fire hose will be used to train AI.
Right.
Well, wow. If you needed data, that's like the biggest data pipe.
Right.
And if you needed that data pipe to feed artificial intelligence, well, wow, now you got the most powerful AI on the planet.
Ever. Right.
Right now, everyone's hooping and hollering.
Then you got your most powerful AI on the planet with that kind of data stream. And I would say to you that they probably already have it, because I have read some stuff that Facebook is 10 times what Twitter is. And think about it. We're all on Facebook. The whole world's on Facebook. You can connect with somebody from the other side of the world. You can connect with your third grade friend you had on Facebook within a day. You can find your dad on Facebook, but you never knew. I did it. So with that in mind, if you just think about all the other data streams, are they already using their fire hose, as he called it, from those other platforms to feed your information into an AI? See, this is the thing. You know, when they made these Terminator movies, we were all, oh man, this shit's awesome. But there's a reality behind that shit, because they've been implementing it. If you just go watch the movie Eagle Eye, you'll see what that computer was pulling. She was sending out missions, having people killed, anything that might have threatened her reality, she was having dealt with. She was eavesdropping. She was using bathtubs of water and the vibration of that water to hear what was going on. Because they had locked her out. And they said, hey, man, no electronic devices. And then she's like scanning the whole building, and then finally realizes there's a bathtub full. All because one drip of water dripped in it. So this computer nailed that. Said, bam, and started using the vibration of that water and what they were saying to hear what they were saying. Because they were trying to shut the bitch down. Now, you fast forward, that was years ago. Watch it sometime, Eagle Eye. That was years ago. But that movie translates to today. And how, if they were showing us the technology back then, they're 50 years ahead of that shit. And I would tell you that the general I watched on a clip said they're 100 years ahead of anything you can think of. And we can think of a lot. And if they're 100 years ahead of that, holy shit. They got some badass stuff. Because if you can think about it, they're 100 years ahead of that thought. And they share it with us all the time. And the stuff they share with us is obsolete. That's the only reason we get it shared. Oh, let's share this with them. It's obsolete. We've used it for so long, they pretty much seen it anyway. Share it. They only share the obsolete stuff. Because the new badass tech, you probably won't see in your lifetime. Well, you'll see it, but you'll never know that it's their tech or be told that. So, all right, let me move on. Okay, let's listen to this Virginia kid real quick. Just real fast. 40 seconds.
If we add the jab to the schedule, then we will have thousands of Virginia's children dead and sit, and the blood will be on your hands. Here's data. There have been 172 deaths, 549 permanently disabled, 1,700 myocarditis, 691 life-threatening, 5,300 ER visits, and 10,300 have not recovered. And this is 1%.
And this is 1%. I mean, if you were going to screenshot a video, that probably would have been the one. I apologize. I should have said something. But this show's now live on Rumble. Just so you know, welcome to Rumble. I finally don't have to download every time. I figured it out this morning, and I think I've conquered it. So it says I'm live, and that's all I need to hear. So, all right, let me move on. Okay, so we have heard what's in all the vaccinations. We've heard the graphene, this, that, and the other thing. But let's go to the beginning. In the beginning, they always said there's a little aluminum and mercury in these things that people were coming out with. Now, if that's in your shot and they're spraying it in the skies above you, the aluminum and the mercury and the barium and all these little particleized shit, and they're mixing it up to where when you breathe it, you're getting it. Plus, it's already in all these vaccinations we've all had since we were kids. Right? Well, I'm going to show you what it does and what the reaction to it is. And then ask yourself, what is this stuff doing in your body, and what could it be calcifying with just the reaction time on this. Check this out. This is going to blow your mind, guys. So what is it doing inside you, number one? And boy, that's a calcification. Sherry, Lisa, I was late on YouTube. I do start it. It shows I am broadcasting on there now. I was just late this morning. I didn't realize till a couple minutes in that I hadn't clicked that one. But I am live on Rumble. So sign up for Rumble, everybody. It's the Patriot Man Cave on Rumble. Go there, check it out, sign up, and you'll be able to get the notification for the live in the morning from that. Boom, baby. All right, let's roll on. But I'm just saying, if you think about that before I go, if you think about that and what it does, just the one mercury onto that aluminum pad, and then you think about what it's doing to your specific glands, think about that. They want to calcify the pineal gland, so that would be the way to do it, wouldn't it? It's pretty insane, that little bit of mercury with that aluminum, the reaction that it has. And if these things are going in your body and having that same kind of reaction, my God, you are creating patients at a breakneck level. And I would say, just looking at that, think of the biostructures that they're pulling out of people's veins and stuff. So they've obviously learned that that kind of technology can do the same thing in your veins with the graphene oxide and how it all works. All right, now roll on. And since I mentioned graphene, did that come up this morning? This is there it is.
That the telecommunications industry has selected the frequencies out of the huge spectrum of frequencies that are absolutely destructive to ourselves and especially to the pineal gland. You know, they couldn't have made any better choices than 2.4 gigahertz. That the end point that when you have inhaled aluminum, as we do from the geoengineering program, and have glyphosate in the food chain, glyphosate and aluminum combine in the blood and in the gut and in the bloodstream to form 6 different chemical compounds where aluminum and glyphosate are hooked up together. And the end point of that compound is the pineal.
Is the pineal gland. Ooh, the pineal gland. There it is. The pineal gland. That's what it's going for. And check it out. Those things on that glove were graphene gathering because they're all separated. They gather up and they start moving around from frequency and heat on that glove. That's what was going on. So imagine all those little blobs running around inside somebody's body. I mean, holy shit. That's frightening as can be. All right, let's roll on. Hey, have you guys heard about the 7-point plan? Anybody? I haven't heard about it.
Last year, we had some CPAC attendees passing out a Trump card, which lays out a 7-point plan to install Trump into the White House. To reveal the Achilles heel, pull back the curtain on the horror show in today's Democrat Party. See the Black Caucus and other key groups flip unexpectedly and watch the tables turn. 2. Witness a trusted conservative elected as Speaker of the House and finally reveal suppressed results of existing investigations into election racketeering. 3. Correct the official record. Reveal that Trump legitimately won 2020 election. 4. The Speaker of the House drafts articles of impeachment for Biden and Harris. 5. Citizen Donald J. Trump is placed into the line of presidential succession behind the Vice President by electing him as Speaker of the House. 6. Speaker of the House Donald J. Trump then calls a vote to impeach and charge and remove imposters Biden and Harris. 7. Duly impeach, charge, and remove Biden and Harris, whereby rendering all acts of said imposters while the office null and void and no effect. Then, duly elected Donald Trump resume his rightful place as U.S. President.
Boom, 7 points. 7-point plan. Now, there's a few things I want you to remember. First, I want you to remember this one.
Read the United States Constitution. And here's what it makes clear. All the power, not some of the power, all of the power belongs to the people. This is our country. We tell government what they can and cannot do. They do not control the people. This is our country. We're going to take it back. We're circling the walls of Jericho. People are praying in this country. We're circling the walls of Jericho. And God Almighty's going to tear the walls down, and we're going to take America back again. You watch it happen. You watch it happen.
Man, did he have some fire? He had some fire. All right, so this next video is I want you guys to remember this. I want you to see everyone that got one, and I want you to let it burn in your memory.
I've been cursed. I've been crossed. I've been beaten by the ones that get me off. I've been cut. I've been
Think about it. Every one of those guys got folders. I just want to say hello to everybody on Rumble. I just tuned into my Rumble. I got 14 watching now. Good morning, everybody. I am sorry. I just started the Rumble thing. I've been having a hell of a time trying to get on there. And I just want to say welcome to Patriot Man Cave. We try to bring you the best that we can do. I try to give you the best that I can find daily. And I give you my opinion on it. And I got a big opinion. Everyone will tell you that. So, and with that said, it is about an hour into it. Sherry, that does answer your question. Yes, there are so many people on Rumble right now. It's amazing. And I just want to say it's nice to be there, everyone. So let's say a prayer and let you guys get on today. Yahweh, I ask that you watch over all these amazing people to take the time to spend an hour with me, to listen to what I have to say and try to save America. I ask that you bring all these good hearts and minds together so that we can defeat the evil so long trying to take this land. I ask you to go with the soldiers under the tunnels, into the rescues, into places none of us will ever know about or see, and you bring them home with their hearts, their minds, their souls intact. You prepare their families to accept them home. And then I ask you to go with the farmers and the truckers and the patriots around this world to just stand up for the freedoms that they all hold so dear. And you bring them the strength, energy, and wherewithal to keep completing this task. And then as the babies hit the surface, I ask you heal them with your light, fill them with your light so they can have normal lives and understand there are good human beings on this planet that will watch out and take care of them. And then finally, would you bless every molecule of water that runs through everybody that's listening? Every glass of water, every glass of coffee. Would you make that water the healing elixir of life that awakens the people that drink it, as you always meant it to? In your mighty name we pray this day and every day. Amen, amen, amen. I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you for taking the time. And if you see something, send it to me. I will try to get stuff on about it. I do my best, and I just want you to know. I appreciate every one of you for coming. Maybe Donna will be with me tomorrow. And if not, Donna, we miss you. And we will see you guys on the next one. Look out for one another. If you see something, send it. I will try to get it on for you. Have a great day. Bye.
I will not comply. Quit trying to take me to task, cause I don't want to wear a mask or take a vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is feed us lie after lie. That's why I will not comply. Now since back last March, I've had an achy, breaky heart like old Billy Ray Cyrus. I've been catching a case of the blues from the news around this damn coronavirus. Now they're telling us we gotta keep our chin divers up, even if we got the shot in the arm. But nobody's talking about exercise or eating food that's fresh grown from the farm. That's why I will not comply. Quit trying to take me to task, cause I don't want to wear a mask or take a vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is feed us lie after lie. That's why I will not comply. Show them what non-compliance sounds like, boys. Oh, hell yeah. Now listen, y'all. The only way to stop the violence is for us to break the silence right now. So if you tend to agree and you're pissed off like me, stand your ass up and scream it out loud. Sing, I will not comply. Quit trying to take me to task, cause I don't want to wear a mask or take a vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence